You want me to put that on my Tudor?
Kiss. Or sucking the life force out? Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. You can see the picture in the thumbnail, taken at the recent Harry's Wife Games. There's a lady, a competitor, looks like she has achieved success. She has a medal around her neck, and she's sandwiched between the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Harry has his arm upon her, coming in for the picture, and he's smiling. But look at Harry's wife. On the other side of this competitor, who is looking at the camera, she places her lips against her cheek. What is she doing? Is she giving this competitor a kiss? Or is she sucking the life force out of her energy vampire that narcissists are often described as? This picture provides a useful opportunity to demonstrate another aspect of Harry's wife's narcissism. We know that Harry's wife is apt at finding the camera. Her narcissism causes her to seek it out in order to ensure that what she's doing is being filmed or photographed, because that assists her in the pursuit of the prime aims. When she finds the lens, she doesn't think to herself, oh good, now I've got the prime aims. But rather her narcissism tells her that she needs to look straight at the camera. What's her rationale for doing so? Quite simply, it is, I must be seen. Her narcissism tells her, you deserve to be seen. You're Harry's wife. You're important. And therefore, find the camera and look straight down the lens. It doesn't mask it as anything particularly benign or philanthropic or kind or caring. In this instance, the narcissism just utilizes simple self-promotion as the driving force to compel her to look down the lens. It doesn't, of course, tell her, you need to control your audience, therefore find the lens, or you need fuel, therefore find the lens. She doesn't know that she's a narcissist, and her narcissism doesn't allow her to know that she seeks the prime aims. As I've explained to you on other occasions, the narcissism must create an alternative reason for her seeking out the lens, for doing certain things. Often, because she's a mid-range narcissist, her narcissism will dress up the pursuit of the prime aims as something benign. Namely, I'm making a difference. I'm enlightening people with this speech. I'm helping people by giving them some crappy vegetables in a box. I'm bringing joy into people's lives by spending time with them and giving them a hug. But when it comes to Harry's wife finding the lens, her narcissism will simply be telling her, you deserve to be seen, so get pictured. And thus she does. Here, unusually, she isn't looking at the lens, but she knows that she's being photographed because it's a pose for a photograph. And instead, what she then does is demonstrate her narcissism by making the picture all about her. First of all, there's a lack of boundary recognition. I suspect the competitor isn't known to her, and therefore in the circumstances is a stranger. She's a tertiary source. Harry's wife has no boundary recognition. She just decides that she's going to lay her lips upon this individual, uninvited. Now, of course, there will be people who will say, oh, isn't that sweet? It shows that she's not a stuffy royal, that she has that touch of kissing people. She doesn't care about the protocols. Well, that dupes those individuals into believing that that's what's actually going on. But what we know is actually happening, because this behaviour is driven by her narcissism, is that she's doing this because it helps her assert control over this lady, over the on-watching Harold, and, of course, those that will see the picture. Her narcissism tells her, give her a kiss, that's a lovely thing to do, and everybody will like that, which is, in translation, is kiss her to control her, kiss her to amuse Harold, and kiss her because the world will think that you're a kind, sweet, loving person. But the act of kissing this lady, or as others of you might think, it looks more like she's trying to suck the life force out of her, is of course done to assert control through a lack of boundary recognition, behaving with a sense of entitlement, a lack of accountability for her behaviours, and without due consideration for how it might make this lady feel. Now, some people might argue, oh, it's a simple kiss on her cheek, she won't mind that. But she might. She might think, I don't want this woman kissing me, I don't know her. She smells of cheap hairspray and cigarettes. Ugh, I don't want her placing her lips on me, I don't know where they've been in the last few hours. Has she brushed her teeth before she came here? Many people will be duped by this and just see it as a sweet picture. But you, in the know, will understand it shows far more. It shows a narcissist seeking the prime aims and doing so in a way which is actually quite sinister. Do you go up and kiss complete strangers? I suspect that you don't. Do you know why you don't? It will be because your emotional empathy regulates you in a way that without thinking you just don't do it. You don't think to yourself, oh, I really want to kiss that straight. Oh, I better not. I better not. It's not very good boundary recognition, is it? Oh, it's a bit weird if I do that. You just don't do it because your emotional empathy, like an unseen force, guides you from avoiding the transgression of that boundary. You're not acting with a sense of entitlement. With Harry's wife, her narcissism needs her to assert control over this individual, over Harry and anybody that's watching and looking at the picture, the photograph, and therefore tells her, plant a smacker on her cheek. That's okay. It's a nice thing to do. It's a lovely thing to do. You're the Duchess of Sussex. Everybody wants to be kissed by you, and thus she does so. Of course, the way that the picture was being caught, it looks somewhat awkward. The lady's smiling because she's posing for a picture. Harry's smiling because he thinks it's a nice thing that's occurring. Thus both individuals are under control. It's not as if the competitor is pushing her away saying, "Oh, get off me, don't kiss me." Again, bound by social convention, she accepts it. But I suspect that Harry's wife didn't ask, "May I kiss you?" first. She just went ahead and did it. She regards it as a harmless act. You all know that it's done as part of her narcissism. And in some quarters, you would think, actually, she's not kissing her. She's drinking deep of this woman's life force and soul. One picture, but it tells us so much. And the ability to interpret it comes to you courtesy of the knowledge that I provide to you through dissecting the behaviour of a narcissist. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.